from the time you told him to the point that you released all of this on the internet, it sounds like maybe only about, 7 days went by?
Yeah.
I mean, for most men, I would assume can be pretty shocking, especially someone who you just broke up with. It takes time to process that sort of thing. I mean, don't you feel like you kind of took the first shot in all of this?
No.
Well, you leaked the private conversation.
Yeah, I leaked. Yeah.
But don't you think that was an escalation in this? You can say that, he wasn't being responsive to you, but this was an escalation on your part by making this public. And then, of course, from perhaps his perspective, he would be less inclined to want to communicate with you further, because when he did communicate with you, he called you on the phone, you recorded it, which was a private conversation.
I'll tell you, even if I didn't leak the message, he wouldn't take the responsibility.
Well, how do you know that? You gave him 1 week, and then you went nuclear
based on
the guy.
How we find out who he is later. He basically tricks women, buys fake stuff to trick women, and also made other women pregnant. Also on the phone, record. I asked him, have you ever made anyone pregnant before? He said yes.
Sure.
He made his ex-wife get an abortion. So for me, in my head, I was like, okay, this man doesn't want to take responsibilities. And also we didn't use protection. He just kind of like nutting me every day. And also I wanted to have the kid, So for me, if you don't want a kid, just tell me. Simply tell me, baby, I don't want a kid. Get a plan B.
But don't you think
that's all. But
don't you think in furtherance of either a reconciliation of your relationship, or if that was just never going to be possible, you guys reconciling romantically, having him involved as a parent, don't you think extending him just the most basic courtesy of keeping this whole thing private could have been in furtherance of, him being involved potentially?
I really don't know. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you why I decided. When the moment I decided to leak the message, it's because when he texts me, I want to get other 4 girls tested.
Okay.
So can you imagine when your boyfriend telling you that why you're pregnant, he does that
pregnancy test or something?
Pregnancy test. He admitted that he was seeing other 4 girls at the same time, having sex without protection and not in them.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. For me, I know.
But earlier on in the conversation, you said you don't object to a man having sex with other women.
I don't, but he was telling me there's no other girl, and they're not you, and even if I do see other girl, I use protection. So he kind of like always avoid this conversation. He just said, I'm not seeing other girl. Plus, when I was with him 2 weeks, mostly he was with me 24 hours, except the 3 days when he tried to break up with me. He just he disappeared for 3 days. So
before trying to break up with you?
Yeah, he disappeared for 3 days.
Why did you want him to be your baby's father?
I was in love.
But I know, I'm just I just want to know what did you think that was so great about him that to make you want him to, because that's a big title to have, whoever you choose to be your child's father is a big choice.
I was in love. That's all.
Was that your first time in love?
Sorry?
Was that your first time in love? Or
first time in love ever. First time I wanted to have kid with somebody.
All right. So, and then at the end of that video, you were saying something about him forcing you to get an abortion. And I'm just a little confused there. How did he force you to get an abortion?
It was kind of misunderstood with my English. Translated in English, that means if you ask me for a abortion. No, I didn't mean force me. Okay. Because I know I'm adult. I can make my own decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys together, you and Noelle, you guys did make a video titled...
yeah, we did.
Nick, are you able to pull that up?
Yeah.
No. You're pulling up the Reddit video?
Okay.
No. Stop. Nick, the YouTube video, please. What was the title of that video?
We are the victims.
So just before we pull that up, do you guys consider yourselves to be victims of Walter?
Yes.
So he victimized you.
Yes.
How?
I don't feel quite victim, but I do feel like I was played.
Well, you said we. So the title of the video is "We Are the Victims." So I mean, you were both in the video, so I would assume that means that
We both and other girls.
other women too.
Other women.
Victims of what precisely?
Yeah.
A crime?
I wouldn't say a crime, but emotionally damaged.
Emotionally
damaged.
Emotional abuse?
For me, yes.
Was he just like dating
me.
all of you guys? Like
He was dating like different women, but he kind of made me like his main girl. But
Well,
at the same
how was
time,
when you say he was emotional abuse? What specifically?
when he found out I'm pregnant, instead of standing up and wipe it up, he told his partner, making allegations about me, pull up some fake videos about me, saying I'm escort,
Well,
calling me a hoe, call his baby mother a hoe.
but hold
So
on. I mean, didn't
obviously,
you
all
come,
this internet attacked, that caused me emotional damage.
did you do that before or after you leaked the?
After
It was after.
After.
Well, so do you think it's emotionally abusive to leak private phone calls?
You mean me? Me?
For example, let's say Walter had recorded a private conversation that you and him had that was of a private and delicate nature,
Yeah.
and he leaked that. Would you feel that that would be abusive?
I wouldn't like that, but
You wouldn't like
but
it.
I wouldn't. I also wouldn't treat anybody like that. So
Okay. Look, we can. Look,
Okay,
it
we-
may certainly be the case that Walter wasn't perfect in this.
wasn't
but-
pregnant. Perfect. That's not a
Perfect.
good word. Like he's worse than that.
Well,
Wasn't
I mean,
perfect.
did you know that? I mean, for example, his podcast, he does sort of.
I
He is a
didn't
bit,
know.
But he is a bit up. Well, one, you said that you would not object to a man sleeping with other women, even if
Yeah.
you're in a relationship
Yeah,
with
that's
them.
because I'm realistic, and also we human build this laws and this restrictions for our generation, for people, for human being. But before, when we were back in thousands of years ago, we didn't have these rules.
Which
guys
was-
like could sleeping with different women just to produce babies. Okay, so
Right.
human nature, we don't just sleep with one person. I'm just being realistically. If my husband or my boyfriend respect me and always being honest with me, I'm fine. Just don't bring me disease. That's what I told him. But instead, he could tell me the truth, but he lied to me. I don't sleep with other women. I'm solid. I already made up my mind. And then when I told him I'm pregnant, he told me I need to get 4 other girls tested. So my mind was bloated. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Wait, so if you're like, I'm trying to figure out what the goal was and all of it. Did you just wanted him to be your baby's father?
I would.
Because you said you didn't care about marriage, so
Yeah.
it's like if everything else, like him sleeping around with other girls or whatever,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter to you. Like, then I don't. Like, how are you guys saying like you got played?
I was hoping that he could just treat me nicely instead of just tell me go ahead and get a pill. Like, if he could just like say, "Baby, I'm gonna get you through this. I'll go to the hospital with you." Any of that, but he didn't. He didn't.
But
say
I mean,
any of that.
they do sort of hold themselves out to be these kind of Playboy characters. I mean, they have a segment on Womanizer Wednesdays. Walter claims to have had a body count of over 1,000. He says he's slept with over 1,000 women. I mean, you must have known to some degree that he was probably involved with other women.
Well, I know he's a playboy. Like
Right.
he's
okay. You knew that.
Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't know that he has bad character. Playing boy and bad character is different. Okay, I didn't know he's evil like that, and
Well,
I
hold
don't
on.
pay attention
Evil is
about.
a strong word.
I don't pay attention
do you
about.
think he's
podcasts.
evil?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the way
Like
he
what?
treated her
Just what
husband.
specifically did he do that was evil?
Made me pregnant, and
Well,
not
that
taking
wouldn't
accountability.
make him evil.
Right.
Just-
I mean, not for you, but for women. We actually carrying a baby. We actually had to get an abortion.
Well, you consented to the sex, correct?
Yes, I did,
Okay.
but
I
I
don't know if
didn't
that makes him
consent.
evil.
Have sex, nutting in me. I didn't. Okay,
didn't
and men
what?
controls that. Men controls their behavior while having sex, and
How
we
come you're
cannot
on birth control?
we cannot control if a man's gonna come inside of us, or we cannot control that.
Well, but I mean, you had sex with him multiple times, I'm assuming.
Yes, because
And he was coming inside of you every single time.
because I wanted to have the kids. I also
Right.
wanted to have the kids.
Right, but so, I mean, it's not like you were saying, please don't do this, please don't come inside of me.
Oh, I didn't say
You were
that.
fine with it.
Yeah, I was fine. And my future
Okay.
told me you're gonna get pregnant on March, which it happened.
Well, I think that's typically how children happen, the guys.
I don't know. Like my future literally told me last year you're gonna be pregnant. I was
Wait,
hoping
your fortune teller?
Yeah, my fortune teller.
Was it like a palm reading, or what do we?
I don't know. Someone from China.
Like a
I believe in
fortune
that.
cookie?
No,
you will be pregnant.
No.
Do we have any fortune cookies in the studio? Let's see what she's gonna get today. Okay.
Wait, so he knew you wanted to get pregnant?
He knew it, and I was
well, it
taking
seems
all
like
this.
they were planning.
I
to
was
have a
taking the
child.
supplements, and all
Your
that
take
stuff.
was it prenatal?
Prenatal.
Yeah,
You're taking prenatal
I
supplements.
take that, and I quit drinking, stuff like that. I really sincere wanted to have the baby.
Did he want to have the kid?
I mean, he didn't say oh, I really want the kid, but by his behavior and action,
If he didn't want to have the kid, he wouldn't have.
I asked him many
I don't
times.
think. Well, I think genuinely.
I think
he
he-
didn't want to have a kid.
I think
Yeah,
he
that's-
didn't
but
want
he
the
also
kid,
enjoyed
Nutting in
blasting
you.
Yeah,
inside.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
why?
Like,
Why didn't
I don't-
tell me? I asked him 100 times at least.
That's just how
Why do
guys
you
are.
do
Guys
that?
are just gonna, if a guy gets to hit it raw, they're gonna. Why would he pull out?
I mean, I
well, then
wouldn't.
he should know that.
If they're not on birth
then he should
control.
know that their partner is gonna get pregnant, or he didn't care if she just go ahead get an abortion. That doesn't affect him.
Have you-
Because
have
that's
you
very,
ever-
It's a damage for women.
Prior to Walter, have you ever had?
No, never,
Never. Okay.
never.
It's just.
Um,
I think it's just
so
important for
going-
women to choose who they're having sex with without a condom, because we should already know we're gonna get pregnant and everything. But if he's already.
As I said, I didn't mind. I was in love.
Sure. And so, just going back to the video, you guys, the video is titled "We Are the Victims." I'm not sure if I really heard an answer to this. What specifically are you guys a victim of? And Noelle, let me hear from you.
Well, I don't think I'm a victim, but
Okay.
prior to going out and meeting Fresh, I told him, look, I'm not on birth control.
Okay.
I don't want to have children out of wedlock. And, I expect you to use protection. And then
Right.
when it came to that, he just didn't ask me about it, didn't give me a warning. He just kind of blasted. And it took me by surprise because I was trusting that he wasn't going to,
Okay.
But you said use protection, so you allowed him to have sex with you without protection, or?
It just kind of happened really fast. It's one of those things where it was
Wait, what do you mean?
the act of having sex happened so fast.
Well, so just give us a bit of context here. So you, hold on, let me look at my notes here. In terms of meeting him, so you had been following their podcast for a while.
For a while. And I was
Okay.
following Myron. And then one day I saw a reel, followed Fresh from it. And then an hour later he hit me up and he said, come to Miami. And I thought it was about the podcast because I was already scheduled to be on it. And I was like, oh, I'm already going to be there in January.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, okay. He's like, that's great. He was like, when you come out here, he's like, I want to take you out. I want to get to know you. So I was like, cool. And then he had me end up coming out in December. It just worked out
Just again for him.
a little more conveniently because she wasn't going to be there. I didn't know that. So
Wait, because
Okay.
she wasn't.
There's
gonna be there?
crossover.
Yeah, there was a
So he
crossover.
first saw you, and then
So-
he started seeing Daisy.
No,
so
he met me first.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
November.
met you first. Okay.
they
so
met in November. Me and him started messaging end of November.
how long have you been following the podcast?
The Fresh and Fit podcast probably year and a half.
Have you seen full episodes?
Not full episodes.
You'd see
but
clips.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch periods of an episode? You'd tune in for 30 minutes
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Okay. And so he DM'd you. You guys had a couple of conversations, text messages, phone calls. He offers to fly you out,
Yeah.
and then he picks you up at the airport, and then drives back to his place.
Yeah.
And then you guys pretty much immediately go at it. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was.
So from
Pretty much
like
as soon as I got
stepping
there.
through the door, stepping through the door to does he throw it down quick?
I mean, I would say a cool 10, 15 minutes into getting into his apartment.
No, like what's it called? What's the term?
Foreplay?
No, not foreplay. Was there like any, the weather is
Wait, so you wanted to just
small talk? Was there any small talk? Or
Not
just
really.
step through the door, he puts on some Barry White, goes at it.
I mean, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to just fuck or
No.
Well, so you step through the door. So how much time elapsed from stepping foot into his place to hooking up?
Probably like 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15
Yeah.
minutes. Okay. And okay, but I mean, so I assume you're enthusiastic about that.
Well, yeah, I was attracted to him. He's
Okay.
charming. We'd FaceTimed before. And, I'm human. So,
What do you mean you're human?
like, heat of the moment, if two people are turned on, what do you expect? Like, that's going to happen.
And did you hook up more than once with him?
Twice.
There? Twice.
Okay.
What do you mean twice? Like,
Two separate times. It's like one night.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Eskimo sisters over here. Eskimo sisters
I
over
told her
here.
that. Eskimo sister.
And in both times that you hooked up with him, he didn't use a condom?
Yeah, both times.
What prevented you?
This guy likes rolling the dice. Holy shit. Fucking Walter rolling the dice here. All right.
Is that how you guys met?
Through Instagram.
Yeah.
Or that's how me and Daisy met.
She
But-
liked my photo, and I saw her bedroom. She has photo in his bedroom.
Oh, damn.
Damn. So you saw, but you were very familiar with their podcast. You'd seen clips. I mean, were you familiar with look, there's a lot of content, both in
Yeah.
my podcast, their podcast. Were you aware of the fact that, these guys are a bit, they're playboys, they date a lot of women.
I knew they got women, but
Yeah.
like I at that point I hadn't even seen the Hail Mary video, so it was like
Me neither.
yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
guys think? It'd
Wait,
be
what's the
different
Hail
for
Mary
you
video?
guys?
You can go to my. I'll
Hail-
send you. I'll send you.
What, really quickly, what's it about? Hail Mary video?
He admitted admitted that he made other girl pregnant. And
His wife?
No, the
Another
other
girl.
girl. Yeah. And then
Well, I'm not
he-
surprised if
that-
he's, sleeping with women.
Then
and
he lied
blasting
to the
inside
girl
them.
that we're gonna have
It
kids
happens.
later. Then took her to the McDonald's, sat her down, never talked to her again. Like told her to get an abortion, never talked to her again.
Okay.
But what do those instances actually have to do with the two of you? Like,
that just
if
shows-
Walter had impregnated half of the United States, I don't actually understand how that's pertinent to your particular situation.
It does.
With him.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If your wife or your ex-girlfriend, any woman that you were in a relationship with, if she was pregnant with every guy she dated, does that make you considering still dating her? Like, you would
no,
absolutely
I wouldn't,
like.
no, I wouldn't still date her. No.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel.